This is Uran from I Love Shockwave. Today, I want to be a hero to any practitioner, any healthcare practitioner who is trying to get into the world of shockwave therapy. So, I want to talk in general about different devices and what you need to look for because the market, it feels crowded. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of misinformation, which personally I don't believe much in competition. You have to focus on your unique ability, on what you're the best for, and just keep doing it. Even for manufacturers, they try, to pick on each other, and we have this and we have that. In the end of the day, there are three types of shockwave generators that provide shockwaves, that generate shockwaves. It's electrohydraulic, it's electromagnetic, and then you have the piezoelectric system. And then you have the other category of radial pressure waves, which you have the pneumatic system, which uses air, and then you have actually magnetic system that again produces radial pressure waves. So these are two separate things. It's not good when we actually put them all together in one category and call them shockwaves. Why ISMST, International Society for Medical Shockwave Treatments, hasn't been more firm into this, I personally don't know, but I know probably one day they're gonna completely separate them and make sure that, hey, this is what it is. And if you go in and read on their website, it's you if you read in details, you can see it. You can see the difference. When you combine those tools together, that's when you have a breakthrough in the effects of those two tools together. And they're amazing. They're mind-blowing. It's unbelievable what I have been witness in my practice combining those two amazing tools together and helping people daily. So therefore, I decided to create I Love Shockwave. Actually, I Love Shockwave was created a couple years ago as a medical distributor selling shockwave devices. But then I realized myself that, okay, I was in the same kind of jungle. So therefore, I wanted to find a blue ocean where no one else is actually currently in the world offering comprehensive or thorough shockwave training, talking about first the technology, helping practitioners to decide, and not being influenced from certain distributors, website and this information and that information. So therefore, my whole goal is first to be a hero to a practitioner, because I know that if they do things right, they're gonna change someone else's life, patient's life, people's life. And I had a vivid vision in 2019 before the pandemic started. I said I'm gonna help 1 million people to reduce pain by 70% by December 31st, 2022. And yes, when you think alone or just yourself, that is almost impossible to reach that in 3 years. But what I relied on is practitioners like you, that we can all get together around the world and then start applying shockwave properly. And when you apply shockwave properly, it's easy to get those results. And we measure, we use survey, we collect data, and then that way, all together, we can reach to that goal. So if you're somebody that you're just thinking to buy a shockwave device or to get a radial pressure wave or combination, the first thing you need to know, what are you trying to do with it? Is your specialty, are you expert on MSK? Are you expert on men's health, like for ED or Peyronie's? Are you expert in aesthetics medicine that you want to use shockwave? Or you have a multidisciplinary clinic like what I have one in. I actually have two clinics in Edmonton, Alberta, and then one I have in Kosovo. So they're called unpaid clinics, and they all do shockwave, and they're multidisciplinary shockwave therapy clinics where we treat everything from mainly MSK, then the second most popular is men's health, and then for aesthetic medicine. Nowadays, shockwave has gone to the next level for heart regeneration. There is a group of doctors from Austria with amazing engineers that they have created first the tool, the shockwave tool. It's I think it's called it's a shockwave for heart regeneration, and then those amazing doctors are applying. They're working to prove to the world, to other colleagues of theirs, that shockwave can actually help and regenerate the heart, which is the most amazing organ, right? And then you have the other one that is for from stores who recently are have developed the shockwave for Alzheimer and dementia treatments. Imagine, imagine where shockwave started in the 80s for kidney stone treatment, and now it's brain and heart regeneration. Wow, it's just mind blowing. Like, I've been a member of International Society for Medical Shockwave Treatments. I highly recommend any practitioner around the world go once a year to ISMST, because that's where engineers, biologists, practitioners, everybody that is related somehow to the shockwave therapy, they get together. That's where you learn the theory. That's where you learn the science. That's you. That's where you see the evolution of shockwave happening. And this year in 2022, it's going to be in Czechia. It's actually a friend of mine, Thomas Nedelka, who is the president of International Society for Medical Shockwave Treatments. So he's going to do amazing organization. And I cannot explain it in words until you actually go to this conference and see that they're not just amazing doctors and healthcare practitioners. They actually are fun people. There's always good parties, good dinners, a really good ceremony, and then you get to speak and connect with like-minded people. I love shockwave on the other side. That's my own creation. I like to focus mostly on hands-on. I'm not as strong in the theory aspect. I'm very strong on a hands-on, on real life. What happens is when a client comes in your room and tells you, help me. So I want to teach you with all my techniques and what I've learned from my whole experience, how to actually get the most results from that diagnosis or condition that you're treating. So it's purely hands-on. Yes, obviously, we talk about a lot about the theoretical aspect, but at the end of the day, your client, your patient, does not care what degree you have, how much you know. In theory, they need help. So, therefore, I want to help you to choose the right tool. So, here's the thing. If you're just starting, your budget it's low, it's minimal. You're trying to, you have, let's say, 20,000 euro or US dollar or whatever currency you use. With 20,000, typically you can get an entry level radial pressure wave device like this one. And I have nothing to do with stores. I don't take any money or anything from any manufacturer. So I'm just using this as an example. Doesn't matter that this is a store's brand. You have a Swiss dollar class, you have BTL, you have other kind of radial pressure wave devices. So this one is a radial pressure wave. It's really good for physiotherapists, massage therapists, chiropractors that wants to focus more on that tissue treatment and just to get started with radial pressure wave. So especially when you combine it with other things, it does wonders. Okay, it is a superficial treatment. You're reaching about 3 to 4 centimeters deep. It's not a shockwave. So this is one thing that you have to start learning. It's not a shockwave, and it's not fair to call it shockwave, because then you confuse people in the market, and you just ruin the shockwave name and field. So better is to educate people. This is a radial pressure wave. So it's really good to break down scar tissues, adhesions. It's a tissue treatment. If you combine it with your exercise program, with your adjustments, with like scar tissue release, then so average, for example, in Canada, a good device for this. Number one thing that you have to look for when it comes to radial pressure wave, it's not the freaking air compressor. Okay, listen to me here clearly. It's not about the air compressor, because air compressor, it's almost like, okay, my car goes to 300 kilometers per hour. Where can you drive 300 kilometers per hour? Yes, in Germany, in Autobahn, or somewhere where you break the traffic rules, and it's great for that. But when it comes to human body, uh, I never used on somebody 5 bar pressure. So the most that you're going to use with radial pressure wave, the range that you're going to use, it's anywhere between, excuse me, 1.5 to maximum 3 bar pressure. And what I teach you and what I suggest you to look for instead, the tips, the applicators. Because up to the applicator, up to this point, is just a generator of the power. What matters the most is that the bullet hits this applicator. The way it hits strength, they can deliver different strengths and different type of energy and wave in the tissue. So that's what you need to look for. Okay, and that's what you need to learn how to use, how to combine. I have a radial prave device for over 12 years, never had an issue with it, because I don't play with the energy cranking up and down. I play more with number of applicators and the hearses. So the way how the system works, because it's most of them use air, you have bars. So the bar is the power. So you select the bar, and then you select the frequency. So the frequency on this, guys, it is important, because if somebody is more sensitive, you go a little bit higher frequency. If you're trying to reach deeper or target more big muscles, you go lower energy or lower frequency and higher energy. Okay, so this is radial pressure wave. Unfortunately, I don't have a piezoelectric system. I only have hydraulic and electromagnetic that I use. Even piezoelectric, I've seen Richard Wolf system. It's truly a masterpiece. It's just something that personally for me, the focal point, it was very specific. So treating more MSK, I prefer more wider focal point. So therefore, I decided to go with electromagnetic and electrohydraulic system. So let's start with this. So electrohydraulic is this guy here. It sounds like this. So true shock waves are created from 3 different type of generators. Electrohydraulic, which uses a spark to generate the shock, and this guy generates true shock wave even at the lowest intensity, because the electricity create, like it's a discharge of true shocks as soon as it's released in the applicator inside, and then it travels in the human body. So even on this guy, the focal point, it's a little bit deeper, but there's nothing in between the handpiece and the skin. Okay, so this is electrohydraulic, and the focal point on electrohydraulic, it's around 25 millimeters, so it's a little bit wider. Depends on the manufacturer. Don't pick on that stuff, because every manufacturer, every applicator, is different, but I'm just giving you a general idea. Then you have electromagnetic, which is, this one is from stores. It's a very popular system. I personally decided to go with stores because of innovation and things that they have changed, during the years. So I can control the handpiece here, the intensity. Frequency in this system, I'm not sure if they have changed it, but it's automatic. So I don't have to worry about the frequency. As I increase the joules, the energy, the frequency changes automatically. Okay, so this is electromagnetic. The focal point on this guy is 7 millimeter. So I like this one mostly for tendon treatments, joint capsule treatments, anything that I need to actually stimulate regeneration, but also release it. So if we compare electrohydraulic to electromagnetic, personal experience, not case studies, nothing like that. This one has more activating or activation properties. So if there's a muscle that it's not engaging, or has been atrophied or hasn't been functioning as for a long time, then I like to use more electrohydraulic, because it's a wider focal point, and it almost because I think it recruits more nerve endings, it activates more muscles. Where this one, I like it a lot when I'm treating close to the joint. So let's say to release joint capsule on the shoulder, treating around the knees, hips, like deep stuff where you need to deliver more energy, then I like more the electromagnetic system. For piezoelectric, I cannot say anything because I don't have experience with it using in my practice. So I know that it's pretty amazing concept. It's a really good technology because it uses crystals to generate the shockwave. I cannot speak anything about maintenance of that device, but it's great. And one thing that I want every practitioner to remember is that you are, or the tool is good as how you know to use it, right? So the most important aspect when it comes to the shockwave is to know how to use it properly, how to actually target the tissue, how to approach the tissue, how to hold the handpiece. Those are multiple factors that, with the help of the technology that has been created and the technological advantages, when you combine everything together, that's when you get those amazing results. There's still going to be people that you're not going to be able to help, but that means most likely their pain, it doesn't matter that you took an MRI or X-ray or ultrasound, and if there's still no help, it means most likely the cause is not there. Even that pain that you're seeing, like that they're feeling in that region, it's most likely a referral pain, but because you did an imagery of the body, you found a broken or a torn, tissue, and then you're blaming that. But I have seen cases where people were diagnosed with herniated discs and tears. You do the treatment, they're like after 3 sessions, they're fully back to normal life with everything. Pain is gone, full function back, and those are things that we are learning as a medical practitioners daily. So here is the thing. Now, if you're a medical doctor or someone that you try to focus more on the regeneration aspect, and you have a little bit more funds and money, then I would recommend you to straight go into the combination. Combine radial pressure wave and shock waves. Sometimes you can combine even 3 of them if needed. It's almost too much stimulation energy, but again, if you know how to balance things out, you can do that easy. That's what I do daily. So the first thing that I do, I go and let's say we're treating a shoulder. All overworking muscles, I go and treat with radial pressure wave. If you have hypertonic muscle, I go and treat it with radial pressure wave. Let's say pectoral muscles or anything in the front needs loosening up, I go and use the radial pressure wave. Then I see, okay, we have a joint capsule restriction, then, or you're trying to target the bone or anything deep, I go and use electromagnetic. And then in the end, I want now to stimulate more activation of, let's say, infraspinatus on the back or rotate some of the rotator cuff muscles. Now I go and use the electrohydraulic because it has more that activation property. So, sorry that I went on this rabbit hole talking about advanced stuff, and I know that you're just trying to get going, or you already have a device and now you're looking to invest or improve. But sharing a personal story or telling a story, it can help you way more than probably just listening to a talk that it's pretty much preset. And I want to help you to kind of understand how I use things and how I do it, so then you can make a decision better for yourself. If you're a practitioner that wants to focus more on men's health, then I would recommend don't bother with a radial pressure wave. I know that there's new studies coming with it because in the end of the day, that's a stimulation too. But it's a kinetic pressure. It freaking hurts. If you use it straight on the penis, it hurts. It's not as gentle. And then for the amount of pain that you're going to give to the client or yourself, it's not worth it. So the best, it would be electrohydraulic, electromagnetic, or piezoelectric. Even piezoelectric system, they have the defocal applicator that they can treat pretty much the whole penis at once. So you have to invest on the proper tool, on the proper shockwave. Okay? Don't get distracted. Don't buy in marketing almost scam, because I know a lot of companies, they have gone and used a shockwave science and then they sold or presented a radial pressure wave. Okay, so probably one day, and I did not say that that doesn't help either, is just for what you're delivering, the amount of pain that the client can actually feel from it, it's not worth it, because with true shockwave, you can do way more. It's more thing that scientifically it's proven to stimulate angiogenesis and generation aspect. And it's still it's a mechanical wave, but at least they don't feel it much on the skin. So you don't have to use anesthesia, you don't have to use creams, you can just use gel and start with the treatment. If you're a practitioner that wants to specialize more in aesthetic aspect, then you need to actually combine more the radial pressure wave and the shock wave. Because with a radial pressure wave, you're going to target more the skin, the superficial fascia, lymph congestion. You're going to do all of that physical release in the tissue, and then with a shock wave, you're going to stimulate regeneration. So therefore, the combination of those two, whether you're using it for cellulite treatment or for face as an anti-aging, it's way better when you combine them. Let's say you don't want to go with a combination, or for whatever reason the regulation in your country does not allow that, then my suggestion is you either go with electrohydraulic system, or you can go even with electromagnetic, but get the defocal applicator. So that not the focal applicator from electromagnetic system. So the defocal is designed more for wound healing, for more a wider distribution of the shock waves. And then again, you have from piezoelectric system the one that is more a wider applicator. Okay, so that can be a really good tool from the shockwave for aesthetics. The same applies, the same principle applies in wound healing. Not the same, but what I just said about the shockwave. So wound healing, I don't recommend. I haven't seen yet that radial pressure wave was used for wound healing. Only shockwave is used for wound healing. And on that, electrohydraulic system from most of the studies works better because of that defocal energy delivery system. And then for heart, again, that's very new thing. I think there's only one company that does that. It's based in Germany. So they use electrohydraulic system. And then for Alzheimer and dementia, you have the electromagnetic from stores. Currently, they're ones that actually do over that treatment. That might change in the future because all the companies and manufacturers are going to try to catch up on everything that is new or innovative. So I'm not surprised if other companies catch on that, and then we're going to see more of Alzheimer and dementia treatment. So if you're a practitioner that you are so far you kind of don't fit on those and you still need help, you can always contact I Love Shockwave. You can talk to me for half an hour. We can do a Zoom meeting and I can guide you through that process just to help you set up properly. Okay, I hope that this gives you enough information for you to make the right decision. Always remember, I know shockwave technology, it's expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth it for you as a clinician and for people who get it. So never hesitate to invest on the proper tool in the proper education. When it comes to education, we can help you. We have 3 different courses currently. And before I used to teach with levels. You have level 1, level 2, level 3. And level 1 is like the entry, level 3 is the most advanced one. But then as a practitioner, you go invest on the tool. You have level 3 condition in walking in your clinic and you don't know how to treat. So therefore I created the ultimate levels, which I give you everything that I know. So you have ultimate level for only radial pressure wave. You have ultimate level only for the shock wave. And then you have ultimate level, what we call a duo, combining those two. So whatever tool you have, then only you need one level to take and you learn everything. And on top of that, we get together with other practitioners once a month. We ask questions, we turn it into collaboration and conversation so we can share information. Okay, so and then furthermore, the way it's a backlink that helps on the SEO aspect, on the search engine optimization, because we give you authority that you are another clinic that are certified by us. Google learns from you that you are a Shockwave clinic. You offer this service. So we actually put you on our list of places. So my goal is to help any practitioner around the world to be the best in shockwave therapy. That's all. It's very simple, very straightforward. Okay, enough for today, and then we'll connect next time with you guys. Thank you for your attention.